Hey y'all, welcome back to another podcast episode of the Be a Light podcast 2C by me, Jadyn Graydon. In today's podcast, we will be talking about solitude versus isolation. I know. I've been missing for a second, but I've been in a moment of solitude with God. Not saying I'm in my isolation season, but solitude. And let me give y'all some context, okay? So, literally, this past week, I missed my last episode because I was going through like spiritual warfare, mental warfare, just a little bit, not a lot. But it took me off my path. Like, it surely made me like go and think. And I was like, bro, what is happening? What's going on? I don't know. Like, I don't know what's happening and I don't like it. And I was getting like heavy feelings. I was starting to feel sick and all these things. And literally, I had to sit here just like me and God, me trying to better myself, me and all these things. And I had to pray for removal in my life, like removal, like harsh removal. Like it got to be straight up in my face, God. Because I've been asking for removal for like a while, right? That removal prayer works, okay? It works. It don't work when you need it to. No, it don't work when you want it to. It works when you need it to, okay? Literally, like there was one moment where it was like, God, I don't want this person in my life no more. I need you to take them out. And God's like, Jadyn, I'm gonna take them out when I need to take them out because you need to learn. And I'm like, okay. He recently removed somebody from my life that I was like, I really hope like you're forever gonna be in my life. Like I don't know where we are gonna be in like 5 years. We might see each other again, we might not, but like right now it's like, bro, I don't feel like I'm ever gonna see you again. And so I'm asking God for removal like every 10 seconds. Like God, if you're not supposed to be in my life, God, if they're not supposed to be in my life, please take them out. And literally like he was still there and I'm like, bro, like I feel like he's not supposed to be here right now, or like I really want him to be here, but like God, is he supposed to be here or not? So literally I was called to just like sit with myself, just sit in my spirit, figure out me, put me first. So with that literally came like not a season, but a moment, a pause of solitude, a pause in life. Like this is where it slows down because we're all on different paces in life. So when it comes to that, there are going to be some ups, there's going to be some downs, there's going to be some fast moments, there's going to be some slow moments. But we all on different paths, so it's like don't ever compare your path to someone else's. And literally God's like, right now, you're moving real fast. You're praying for patience. I'm giving you tests of patience and you're not being patient. So God kept this person I've been asking him to remove to show me that he will do it on his timing, one, and that I would not be scared of the moment that he was removed or they were removed. Because mind you, it was more than one person, but literally that like them staying for a minute and me just being with God prepared me for the moments where it would be removed. Yes, it's gonna be sad. Yes, it's gonna be tough, but it's like the removal is coming. But that brings me to solitude. Okay, literally, I had a moment. I'm like, God, like, why does everybody want to be in their isolation season? Isolation season, like isolation season this, isolation season that, and I had to go and like look it up, like literally when I looked it up, I was like, what's the definition of solitude? And literally, I Googled this, not ChatGPT, but I Googled this and it said solitude is the state of being alone by choice, a period of quiet and separation from others that allow for self reflection, personal growth, and emotional rejuvenation. Mm. So let's tap into that, okay? So solitude is basically it's a personal growth thing, okay? So yes, you're being separated. Yes, you're in you're not with others sometimes, or like you're being separated from the distractions in life. And with that, you're going to have personal growth. There's going to be change. And literally, that's what you want. But solitude is unlike loneliness, okay? Loneliness is which the pain of being alone, while solitude is a positive, deliberate engagement with oneself. So, literally, let's go down to the definition of isolation real quick. Cuz literally isolation is an unwanted state, often resulting from consequences or circumstances, a choice to withdraw from problems. So let's let's clock in. Let's clock it. Okay, solitude is a choice to run to. Isolation is a choice to run from. I gotta sit with that. That was good. Okay, let me repeat that. Solitude is a choice to run to the problem, while isolation is a choice to run from the problem. And a lot of people would think, like, biblically, like, God tells you to flee from sin, flee from it. Yes, flee from sin, not your problems. If your problems is sin, flee from sin. If your problem is not being obedient, run to being obedient. If your problem is running away from your own choices that you made that affect other things, you should be running towards those and trying to fix those. Mind you, not everything needs to be fixed, right? But you can fix things that have the opportunity to be fixed. And folks think like just because they did this and did that, they can't go back and try and fix things, okay? But let me keep myself on track. So, when I literally, like, after finding out the definitions between the two, in my head I'm like, aren't you alone either way? Nah. Solitude, when it comes to solitude, you are opening up a space for God to come and sit with you, because you're not focused on the bad, or yeah, you're not fully focused on the bad parts. Literally, being in solitude opens your eyes to the good and bad, to the realization that there is more to what's going on. It opens you up to the lessons that can be taught. It opens up the eyes and the ears and the senses and all that stuff. While isolation is rooted in negativity, and just isolation is a negative connotation of solitude. Okay? Cuz let me go down to the emotions. Now, when it comes to solitude, your emotions are often accompanied by feelings of contentment, peace, and inner harmony. Okay? I know we're getting a little spiritual, but low key, this is all mental. When it comes to isolation, your emotions is associated with loneliness, sadness, and a sense of being cut off from others. Now, I had a couple conversations where people were like, I feel cut off from God. I feel he's further away from me. Okay, so you're in your isolation season. You don't want to be in your isolation season. You want to be in your solitude era. You want to be in your solitude soul. Like, you want to be in solitude with God. Mind you, that with God. You can't be in the isolation season with God. You need to be in solitude with God. Solitude is working on yourself, while isolation is running from yourself. Mmm. Mmm. Bro, I just ate up on myself with that one. Okay, let me repeat that again. Solitude is you trying to better yourself, while isolation is you running from yourself. Mind you, both of these things are choices. Life is all about choices. And I believe that if you haven't seen some of my past episodes where I'm full on indebted in choices, okay? You have a choice in life, and you have a choice to feel like you want to control everything, or relinquish control and let things run as they run. You have a choice to hurt somebody, and you have a choice to not hurt them. You have a choice to fix a relationship, and you have a choice not to fix it. You have a choice to follow Christ, or you have a choice to just believe, you know? So life is all about choices. And with both of these things, solitude and isolation, they're both choices. Solitude is voluntary, it's deliberate, it's a choice to spend time alone with God. You got to add that with God. Even though the definition says time alone, mind you, you're bettering yourself in solitude. You're coming to a contentment with yourself, contentment with the area. And sometimes you need to have those feelings towards God. It centers your focus, centers your alignment. While isolation is a choice of an unwanted state. So literally, it's you running away from your problems. Like, oh my gosh, I did this, this, and this. I got to go in my season of isolation. I got to pray. I got to do. You're going to be by yourself to run from the actions that you have done. Like, you over here, you did this to your friend, or you did this to somebody, you did that to somebody, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go run, I'm gonna pray about it. Did you repent about it? Did you come to the realization that you must take accountability for yourself? Because a lot of people went to their season of isolation thinking that was the accountability part. But no, 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 no. That's not how that works. You're running away from yourself in isolation. Solitude, you're running to yourself, because you have to figure out, like, you in solitude. You have to come to this central alignment with what is for you and what is not for you. Solitude can help strengthen your discernment, while isolation helps strengthens your paranoia, strengthens your overthinking. Because literally, Google wrote down the purposes of these two things, which is very interesting. So, with solitude, it can be used as self discovery, reflection, creativity, which is a random word to put there, personal growth, and spiritual connection. That connection with God. You see that connection with yourself. You see. While isolation's purpose, it can be a coping mechanism or a side effect of anxiety, depression, or other challenges. Hmm. So while solitude is a tool to better yourself, to better your connection, to better your faith, to better like who you are, better your mentality, isolation is a coping mechanism to help you run away from yourself, your challenges, your tests, your your everything. Mind you, when it comes to isolation, listed down the outcomes, it can lead to negative outcomes such as anxiety, depression, and a decline in overall health. So, if you go into a season of isolation to cry about your depression and anxiety, you can literally worsen it, or you can still have it in a season of isolation. While in solitude, the outcome, it is a healthy and healing practice that improves mental and emotional well-being. Mind you, both of these are mindsets and both of these are choices. One, you're running away from yourself, while the other one, you're running towards yourself. Mind you, both of these are things that people talk about, right? But everybody thinks their season of solitude or their solitude with God is an isolation season. Like, you can choose to be in solitude. You can choose to recharge. You can choose to grow. But isolation chooses you. You running from things. You running from challenges. You running from things that like, oh yeah, I'm gonna let God. Da 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 da. Let me put the phone down. Let me put the phone down. Listen, you are not in a season of isolation. You don't want to be in a season of isolation because isolation brings negativity, brings you back to the places you wanted to run from, okay? But solitude with yourself, solitude with God, that's the path you want to be on. That's the path you want to become better. That's the path of apologies. That's the path of repentance. That's the path of just coming to contentment with yourself. Because if you're not content with yourself, how are you going to talk to others about it? Right? Let me give you an example. Like, literally, I had this friend, and literally, I was fighting so hard for this friend. But this friend was always like, I'm in my isolation season. Um, I feel like God's calling me apart. I feel like I don't hear him, so I need to go into this season of isolation. Da da da. Some of y'all feel like you not hearing God means that you need to go into the season of isolation. When sometimes God hanging up the phone or not answering the phone for you because you want to go into that negative space, that you want to go into darkness, that you want to step away because you think that season of isolation is what he's calling to you for. Some of y'all be ignoring his call too. That's the crazy thing. Some of y'all be asking for a sign for this, asking for a sign for that, but y'all ignoring God's call for your godly purpose. Y'all want to go straight into a season of isolation when you should be in a season of solitude, season of prayer, season of bettering yourself, season of focusing on yourself. Many of y'all, like, and mind you, I don't be just yapping, guys. I don't be yapping y'all to yell at y'all, none of that. But I be talking to myself sometimes. And this one's for me and you. Some of y'all get into relationships thinking that God called you to be in that relationship when he gave you every single sign not to be in that relationship. God, I need to repeat it again. God gives you every single sign not to be in a relationship or not to go down a certain path, not to choose these different choices for your well-being, for your connection with him, for you to become content with yourself before going into a relationship, for you to fix yourself before going into a relationship, for you to fix whatever you got going on before that. And we still choose it. We still ignore the signs. We still ignore the call. And we expect God to pick up the phone every time we call about the situation we choose to be in. Mind you, he gave us choices. He gave us different choices. Said there's your godly one, and there's your worldly one. There's the good moral one, and there's the one that can damage your morality. So the question is, what choice are you going to make? Because literally, you can make the choice now. That's the thing. People be like, I'm waiting for that sign. I'm waiting for that sign. God gave you all the signs not to be in the situation you are already in. How come that's not the biggest sign? How come God showing you what's going to happen if you choose this direction, not a big enough sign for you to get out the situation? Because mind you, this season of isolation is not in the Bible. Like, being in a negative space is not in the Bible. Being in solitude is in the Bible. Being in a state of solitude. I'm going to say state because the season's over. It's a state of solitude. Mind you, that state can last for a while, forever, if you want. That season of isolation is temporary, and that's why it's rooted in negative feelings. Solitude is a state. It's a state of mind. It's where you can stay. You can walk in and out of it because you have free will, but that state of mind of solitude is stronger than a season of isolation. But people go straight into a season of isolation because we named it. It's pop culture. People go into a season of isolation because they heard others go like, oh yeah, I'm in a season of isolation. No, man, you in a season of solitude, and that's why you got better. You weren't separated, not isolated. People can still talk to you. The only way they can't talk to you when you isolated is because you choose that. You choose to be in a season of isolation. You choose to be isolated. God did not separate you like that. You separate yourself like that. You chose to be in a friend group that you shouldn't have been in. Said some you were called to be out of the friend group, then you stayed in the friend group and all this stuff happened. All this drama happened. God called you to not go towards the fight, but you decided to go in the fight because, it's the world, bro. Like I said, isolation not in the Bible. Solitude is. And I know you thinking of like the 40 days, 40 nights in the forest, in the wilderness, Jesus did to fast for this one day, this one prayer. Man, I have a tattoo. It's called Be Still, right? Be Still 41. Be still is just a reminder to stay patient, but also be content in where you are. Because mind you, life goes up and down. Life goes crazy. Life goes riding around. It's a roller coaster. But one thing about it, two things for sure. You are sitting in that seat. And then Be Still 41. 41 stands for the 40 days and 40 nights. You know how many parables in the Bible? There are 40 days and 40 nights. Before that 41 day, like 41st day. That 41 day is the day we wait for. The 41 day is the one we fast for. The 41 day is that day of change, that day of action that God gives us. Like when you are fully content and in solitude with God, with yourself. That 41 days finna come. You gotta stay down and you gotta stay patient. You gotta stay content with yourself. You gotta find out new things about yourself. Mind you, Jesus wasn't isolated. He chose to separate himself, to better himself, to help others. But people take that as a season of isolation. No, that's God separating someone to help them with their godly purpose. That's you choosing to be separate from others for not forever, not because there's negative things going on, not because, oh, I'm alone, no, not because this person did this to me, this person did that to me. You are separated to better yourself, to help others, to help the kingdom, to help. Mind you, your godly purpose is what you need to be indebted in. And some of y'all are distracted by relationships. Some of y'all distracted by things that y'all in, organizations. Some of y'all distracted by the world. And y'all over here like, oh yeah, I'm in touch with my word, but I'm still doing this to this person. I'm in touch with my word, but I'm not taking accountability for myself. I'm stuck in my word, but I'm not praying. I'm stuck in my word, but I'm still with this person that God told me not to be with. I'm in my word, but I'm around the same people that God told me not to be around. So I'm gonna cut the script, but literally, I want you to ask yourself, are you in a season of isolation, or are you trying to be in solitude? Let me ask it again. Do you want to be in a season of isolation, or do you want to be in solitude with God, with yourself? Mind you, this is choice. Everything is choices. Everything is about choices. If you want to fix a friendship, fix a relationship, fix yourself first. You must become content with who you are before doing certain things. If you feel like you're far from God, or you feel like life ain't going the way you need it to, or like the way you want it to, mind you, are you serving God the way you need to? Are you in a good enough space for you to be doing some of these things? Mind you, if you still got baggage that you can't actually give to God and it's still lingering in your mind and your feeling, twin, I'm gonna need you to go pick up those bags, go into a space, and work on that solitude. Work on that inner peace. Because God is still peacing us from the day we are born. So I'm not yapping to you. Like, I'm literally not yapping to you. This is from personal experience and I'm still working on it. But literally, if you want to be friends with somebody right now and you feel like things aren't in a good place, go be friends with them. Mind you, one of my friends, she was killed. So literally, I I would hate to be in bad blood with her before she died. We do not have enough time, and people think we have a lot of time. We don't have a lot of time. Sometimes you'll be gone tomorrow. So literally, you have a choice. Be in a season of isolation until you're out of here, or be solitude. Be in that state of solitude. And yeah, but that is it for this episode, guys. And I hope y'all locked in, tuned in with me. But if you not, come back for the next episode because we finna get locked in. We finna get tuned in. Because, it's all in a state of mind, right? And it's all about choices. So be the light that you want to see in the world. Until next time, bye.